caveman to play Scrabble. It's uphill work. The only word they know is grunt, and they can't spell it.
And would you please tell me what that is supposed to achieve?
We've got to encourage them to evolve, Ford. Can you imagine what a world is going to be like that descends from those cretins over there?
We don't have to imagine, let's face it, we already know what it's like. We've seen it, there's no escape.
Hello, this is Liam. Hello. This is Liam from the Two Drunk Flings. I am known as Longstride on the Enough website, and welcome to episode 3.5. I am joined today with
Mike. Dynamic Mike Recordings.
Yes, and Mike does all our podcasts and recordings and editing and everything. But basically what we've decided to do is we do in between episodes. So when we go to tournaments or we go to one days or anything like that, or we have friendlies, we'll do in between episodes, because sometimes Alan can't make it because he's always at home eating meat, and there's
Worcester sauce on mini cheddars.
Worcester sauce on mini cheddars, or just looking at the wall, counting the bricks on the outside of his house, and then losing count when he's got past 4, and then
polishing his fists ready for Muay Thai.
Yeah. So well, this is episode 3.5. I was joined with Mike actually for 2 tournaments, which was the Bloody Shovel and the Water Bowl. 2 excellent tournaments. I mean, one was a first round 1-dayer. Can you remember where it was?
Yeah, it was up in Sudbury, not far from New Toxteth and Ashbourne.
Yeah, I remember there was a tree man outside. I remember that.
Yeah, I remember we arrived late, which was probably my fault actually. But just as we arrived, you went running off with your camera to take a picture of the tree man. Like a little kid that had just arrived at Alton Towers.
I was drunk again.
This was ridiculously early in the morning. I think he was still drunk from the last night.
I woke up really hungover, and so I had to have a drink to try and scare away the hangover to carry on so I could concentrate on the Bloodbowl, which kind of just got me a bit more drunk.
Well, it was in a pub, which doesn't help.
Yeah, I know. And the guy was so cool, wasn't he? He was such a good barman.
Such a good dude.
He was like such an upselling barman. It was like, oh, mate, what you got for hangover? And he went, I'll tell you what, I've got 2 choices. Obviously, I was like, oh, I'll just have both. So I had a Bloody Mary and a hot ale or something, and an ale as well.
He had something that he kept behind the bar for you as well, didn't he?
Oh, yeah. He just kept me some beers because he had 4 for a £5. I was like, I'm not turning that down. And he let me keep them behind the bar, so I had them as well. So that's what I mean. I spent my first round, just for me, was about 16, 17 quid. Totally worth it.
It was like 11 o'clock.
It was a great tournament, a really good tournament.
The other thing we did which was another part of the introduction to Blood Bowl, was when I went up to the Water Bowl on the second day when you were there.
Good tournament, yeah.
I had a wander around and met your roommate.
Christian, oh man, what a lovely bloke.
What a guy.
But he looked after me loads. Again, I went out on the Friday, met my friend Paul, a few beers in Stoke. Can't remember waking up. I can remember there was Dan Atherton there, who picked me up in Stoke to take me to the tournament. I was supposed to meet everyone on the Friday night for the Water Bowl, but I ended up staying with Paul.
Oh, this is the story from the podcast from episode 3.
Yeah.
I was supposed to be in Stockport. I ended up in Stoke.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a mistake even. You were meant to go there.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I snuck there. But I played, again, halflings. I got, if I can remember, I didn't win any. I don't think. I can't even remember the Water Bowl.
Didn't you get 2 draws?
Yeah, I got 2 draws and 4 losses.
2 draws.
Yeah. Although Christian did really well. Christian did fantastic.
Christian
got a win, I think. And Merrick did better with Flings.
You'll hear Christian in the episode, but he's just absolutely the best character.
He's a good lad. Put me to bed, bless him.
Aww.
Yeah, he had to put me to bed. Took me in.
Bring in us cocoa.
He did. He really looked after me. The next morning, I couldn't talk, but he was still cheery. He looked after me, and he was even louder on the Sunday. And I had to my first game, I think, was right next to him as well.
With a hangover.
And it was, and I was like, well, it's a 2-day hangover, so it was like 2-day drinking.
So he basically kept that up for 2 days.
Yeah. It's crazy, but he's a good lad, good spirited lad.
Yeah, lovely guy.
Yeah, tried to get him to come to the NAF, but he can't make it to the NAF.
Well, if he's going to be over at that Spanish tournament, what is it, next year?
Riva, yeah.
Riva. I'm coming over to see him because he was just the best.
We definitely go Riva.
Yeah.
Like, Riva's a must.
So, Christian, if you're listening, you need to let us know if you're going to Riva.
Riva.
No, Riva. Sorry.
Yeah, we're definitely going there. That is a must. We're definitely going there because all the Iron Golems guys go there, and quite a lot of Spanish followers we've got to go there. So it'd be nice to go up there, and I'll end my flings there. or possibly at the Water Bowl. I'm not sure. I might end it in Riva because my year of the Flings would be over by then.
Okay, so, well, technically you started it at...
Shovel Bowl, yeah. And Riva is on the same day as the Shovel Bowl was.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
that works.
Yeah,
that works.
yeah. So I might end my Flings at Riva, and if I don't go to a tournament, I'll end it at the Water Bowl. Yeah, I'll be glad to see the back of them. I've only been doing it a month.
But you'll hear some stuff from the Water Bowl in a bit, but it's such a good tournament. I mean,
Water Bowl was fantastic.
It was all timed. I mean, most people have finished within time.
He fed everybody, he made sure the feeding was perfect there, like he made sure that everyone was looked after, it was smooth, it was fun, the people there were fun. I didn't meet one idiot there, you know, everyone was absolutely lovely. I don't meet any idiots at Blood Bowl tournaments, but there was no one there at all. It was fantastic, really, really great. I can't recommend it any higher. Fantastic. It's a great tournament. And I mean, you came up and even everyone was like interested about you and you didn't even know who you were. You could have been like a fucking bum. Just come off the street, walked in, and everyone would have just been, "Oh mate, we're playing Blood Bowl."
Yeah, everyone's really welcoming in the Blood Bowl community. I think they want to welcome you in so they can.
I should have got you a cardboard box and just wrote on it like, "Spare 5p." Something like that.
I wasn't looking that trumpy that day.
No, but it would have been just dead funny. I might test that at a Blood Bowl tournament.
Well, when we did the interview with Christian, which you'll hear in a little bit, the hangover had fully set in by that point. Liam had finished his last game, and we were just waiting for Johnny the awards to get home on it.
Last game was Alex as well from the Water Bowl, which was really nice for me.
Oh, Alex was great as well.
Yeah, really nice to meet Alex. Well, I've met Alex a few times before, but it was just really nice to finish the Water Bowl with Alex and scraped a 2-1 loss. Only just, it could have been.
I know, but that game, you know, you had priorities in that game. It was trying to be fastest.
Yeah, I was trying to do that, and I was trying to see straight. I was still drunk from the night before, so yeah.
And he made it to work on Monday.
I did.
Amazing.
Oh man, I was so bad for the next few days after that. But totally worth it. So I hope you all guys enjoyed the recordings. There is a bit where me and Mike are walking around the shop and Mike's just talking about Element Games as well, because they put the tournament up. So I just wanted to give him a bit of a shout out as well, because Element Games, what a shop.
Yeah,
it's incredible. The stand. I mean, they've got a beer tap in there. A game shop with a beer tap for me is just, I don't know if it's good or bad.
It's dangerous.
It's dangerous.
It's very dangerous.
Do that, and the women draw willies on your pint glasses. But otherwise, Element Games is fantastic. But no, honestly. So yeah, I mean, I hope you guys enjoy the recording. Thank you very much.
Take care.
Before we get going on our little adventure, let me take you back and give you a bit of history regarding this little journey. No, in fact, let's go back even further than that. Let's go back right to the very beginning. No, not that far. The Story of the Two Flings podcast begins in 2017, where myself and my good friend Liam were both employees of a certain red and yellow courier company. After sitting together for a few months, we learned that we were both geeks, massive Oasis fans, but we also had some other common interests such as Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter. After a while, like any true geek, he moved into a recruitment drive and gave me his pitch to take me into the Blood Bowl world. "Do you play board games?" he said. Not much since I was a kid, and even then, as I was an only child, all my favourite games didn't really have much of a single player mode. I was an absolute demon at Screwball Scramble though. Liam continued trying to recruit me for a little while later, mentioning about Blood Bowl and trying to get me interested, but as I had no real clue about American football, it was a bit of a struggle, so for the time being he gave up. Fast forward to October of 2017, Liam was in the process of preparing a Kickstarter and was also looking to get a podcast on the go for his miniature companies, which he ran with Alan. So he took to Facebook and social media. I spotted the post and replied to him, and so a podcast was born. The idea was just that we were going to have Liam and Alan chatting about random stuff related to Blood Bowl and mostly not related to Blood Bowl as it turned out. I said to the guys, just let me take this away and have a play around with it and come back with what I come back with, and we'll see how it goes. The rest is history. It seems to have gone really, really well. Get some really positive feedback from you guys, so thank you very much for that. Anyway, on with the story. We'll fast forward to the beginning of January 2018. Episode 2 has just been released, and I wandered up to my colleague to have a quick conversation with him. Liam, I really think I need to start learning about Blood Bowl. I have no idea about any board games, I have no idea about American football, so I'm editing a podcast that I have no idea about. In the beginning, it was for me to just learn Blood Bowl so I could be more useful in editing the podcast. I know, I said, after a couple of days. Let's turn it into a challenge whereby I go from knowing absolutely nothing about Blood Bowl to playing in a tournament within a short space of time. When's the next tournament? About 6 weeks, he said. Okay. Having just done episode 2 and met Dan, who had been playing for 2 years and never won a game, and also doing the podcast with Alan, who'd had about 5 wins overall on his fumble record and no tournament wins to his name, I thought it'd be a really good idea to see if I could do something. So the challenge was set. I had 6 weeks to build, prepare, paint, roster, learn how to play with, and compete in a tournament with a team. A few days later, a box arrived with Liam at work, containing the Elfheim Eagles. Initially the plan was that I was going to be Dark Elf, so I was going to get an elf team and convert them over. After going through the rules, I decided to stick with the Elfheim Eagles' natural alliance of Pro Elves. I rushed home that evening feeling excited about the journey I was about to embark upon. This was all the way up until about 10 seconds after I emptied the contents of the box onto the table at my house, at which point things came to a screeching halt. All the models I'd seen or come into contact with up until that point had either been metal cast or already fully assembled and painted. I didn't realise you had to glue them together. My other half, who had had trouble keeping a straight face with the prospect of me painting, did end up laughing at the look on my face on realising that I had to glue together all 12 sets of little heads, little arms, little legs, etc. Fast forward 24 hours. I'd rushed home via the supermarket this time to buy some super glue and started my process of gluing. I did a reasonable job, not perfect by any means. One of my throwers is aiming what looks to be a short pass while the other one is aiming more of a long bomb. It did take me hours and hours though, mainly due to the fiddliness or due to me dropping or tweezer pinging off a face, arm, shoulder pad, etc, etc while trying to glue them in place. Cue me scurrying around on my hands and knees, shining my phone and my head torch into every corner and cranny of the room. My missus laughed some more. In the meantime, I've been doing my research. Having read the rules but barely understood them, I took to the internet, where I started with former NAF president Mike Davis's videos. It's an excellent starting point for any of my fellow newbies. I highly recommend them. From there, I moved on to watch 2 guys who hadn't played Bloodbowl in over 10 years trying to remember how to play the game for 3 hours, and from there onto an American League match. After that, I played my first real game against Liam, where I got beat. I also visited the guys at the Derby Bloodbowl League, where I met Johnny J-Bone Bull and a guy called Danny Pegg, who gave me a friendly game and proceeded to beat me. Having now played my first few games, although having been beaten, my interest in Blood Bowl was piqued. Although I'd followed the basic play and the mechanics during the games, the tactics and the skills that were being used most of the time were still going over my head. The time had come to go and see some live Blood Bowl action with real people who I could ask real questions to, like, so how do you catch with a Minotaur? Or, what's your favourite cheese?
Cheese grommet.
So, off I went to the water bowl. I met up with Liam on the last day of the tournament, and he was in the middle of a game against Alex, who was the organiser of the event. Liam had taken his Flings, along with 2 Trees and Deeproot, and this was the first time that I'd seen a Corn team, which is who Alex was playing with. So, let's join myself, Liam and Alex at the water bowl.
Regally front now.
I love this. Flings are kicking arse. Look at that.
So we're still first half here?
Yeah.
Still first half, yeah, nearly over
Yeah, I
there.
mean, it's been pretty quick.
I think we're going to be getting the spot prize, I think.
Close to first to finish, certainly, yeah.
What's the score?
1-0 to me, but I'm kicking to Liam second half, so if you can equalise.
Pocket's going to block. There it goes.
Yeah, if you can equalise, then he'll receive, and he's men up, so. Unless halflings all die, which they sometimes do. We'll see.
So,
here we are, in second bottom table.
can't get a touchdown. Oh, I could. So go there, hand off to Puggy, and then move him to throw Puggy, so then it'll be, yeah, I could do it.
Oh, so you could do it that way, yeah, that's
Yeah,
easier.
yeah.
So there's going to be a 4, getting on 4, hand on 3.
So I think I should. So, pick up. Here you go, Mike. This is pure,
So hand off.
beautiful, this is. So, pick up and then a hand off.
There's the pick up, on 4,
Done it.
on 3.
That's it.
Oh, Puggy's got the ball.
So is it going to be the deep root mega one?
Deep Root's going to throw Puggy. In he goes.
So
2 plus.
1, 2.
Done it.
Yeah.
So,
So it scatters 3 times. You don't want 1, 4 or 6.
there we go. Scatter. There we
Well,
go.
it's fine if you can score wherever you go.
Yeah,
as long as
yeah.
you land. Or you don't hit someone.
5. 4.
So you just got to land it.
Oh, shit. 5 plus, yeah?
No, it's not attack zone.
Oh, you're not in the top zone? Awesome.
4.
Reroll.
Loner.
Oh, no! He's done it. Yay! And a Puggy scores!
1-1.
Wow, yeah.
What turnaround?
That was turn 8.
Turn 8, yeah.
So
1-1.
that was big. But we are doing well. We are rampaging through the time, which from a tournament owner,
I want the spot
organiser
prize.
perspective is what we need.
Yeah, the quicker the better in tournaments, I think. The last one we had, I was getting dead mardy with people, I was.
So how long are you allocated for a total game?
2:15.
Well, if you look at the clock, you've got 1 hour 36.
What did it start off on?
2:15.
Oh, 2:15.
Where's the D8?
Wow, you have sailed through that game.
Which brought us to the end of the first half, and things weren't looking too bad for Liam and his Flings. Having scored at the end of the first half, Alex was kicking to him in the second, meaning Liam had the advantage. After kicking off in the second half, the ball had been picked up by the Flings around the middle of their own half, but with a full 8 turns still to play, Liam was in no rush to make a dash for the end zone, waiting for the right moment to make his move, which is a very risky tactic when playing with a team as squishy as Flings. During the second half is also the point at which we first meet the legend that is Christian. Christian had come all the way from Spain to play at the Water Bowl with his beloved Flings, a chef and Carla von Kill. He was also Liam's roommate for the weekend in sunny Stockport. Now Christian takes his fun and his Blood Bowl very seriously. He's a lovely guy, but he loves to win, and he's one of those larger and louder than live characters. Just to give you the idea and a mental image, he's a Spanish chap with a big yet well-maintained beard, and he's dressed like a chef. Big floppy chef's hat, head chef outfit, hula hoop sewed into the waistband to make him look like he has a huge belly. And he always has a massive smile on his face that proudly proclaims, "I'm loving every minute of this."
He will enter our story in 35 seconds and say,
Here we go. So 1, 2.
But before we meet Christian, let's rejoin the action in the second half where we find Liam in possession whilst Alex has the process of demolishing the Flings well underway.
Block with him because
So we're now
then
into
I've got to block
second
him.
half, and things
3 dice.
were looking quite promising. It was 1-1 at the end of the first half. And
There.
now it
Alex
seems to
is
be
punishing me now.
that,
go next to
yeah,
the tree, though.
Alex is kind of taking advantage.
Through.
So the Flings are getting demolished one by one.
I am being punished.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here we go. So 1, 2.
King Christian.
He's nuts. He's okay though. 3, 4, 5, 6.
Christian's come all the way from Spain to play. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got some Spaniards, we've got some Danes, Swedes, we've got something from Germany.
That's massive tournament.
4,
So
5.
how many Flings actually remain on the pitch? At this
2, 3.
Three.
3.
point? Three.
Yeah, 3 Flings on the pitch. Blitz with deep root.
3 Flings.
Yeah. There's a whole bunch off the pitch though. Let's do 1.
Way! Fling Nation, baby!
How are you doing? You winning?
It's 1 all.
1 all.
I am better than you at the
Okay. You can block that half lane there.
Christian!
There is a dude here dressed in full chef's outfit. He's been Liam's roommate, and he's crazy. That's the only word for it. He's crazy.
It was at this point that Christian wandered over to us for a quick chat.
So,
How's it going?
go for it.
It's 1, 1.
1-1.
1-1?
Yeah.
I mean, he's caused some damage.
Yeah.
Playing.
Corn.
Corn. Why?
Fun.
Mike, this is Christian,
No, it's
by
not.
the way. Christian, this is Mike.
Hello, Mike. Glad.
It's me.
Yes.
It's a
We're
recorder.
recording
This
the
is our
podcast.
podcast recording thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
So
yours-
everything you're saying can be taken down and used in evidence. against you.
Okay. I am winning. Liam is not. That means I am better than him.
Cheers, mate.
So there's round bonuses for each round.
Okay.
So for this one it's 2 plus crowd surf, so pushing off. So with corn, that's quite a nice thing to do because you've got lots of frenzy, so you can. So we're going to go with the blitz here. So 1, 2.
Oh.
3.
Ah!
Oh gosh.
He's got frenzy. Frenzy means you can hit them
attack
twice.
twice.
You have to hit them twice. And off I go. Here, Mike, roll my crowd.
I rolled a 5 and a 6. 11.
Idiot!
So 5 and 6.
They can't beat me up.
Let's go through your armour, of course.
Finished.
Are we first game finished?
You are, yes. I'll get you a spot prize in a moment.
Damn it.
Says through. So he's stunned.
Alex and Liam had just missed out on the fastest finish spot prize. By this time, Liam's forces were massively depleted, and the ball was loose but guarded by Liam deep in his half of the field. But a lack of players and a lack of options meant his turns were not taking that long at all.
Turn 6. Lovely.
Turn 6.
Block with deep root.
You've got 1 half in left.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, okay.
So block with deep root. I will take her down because the deep root is awesome.
He is awesome, sadly. He didn't get through though. Come on.
So yeah, move the treatment.
Okay. Oh.
Alright, took root.
Oh.
Move the treatment. Go for it.
Okay. Oh god, the tree's rampaging after me.
You'll go,
I've had this man now.
Quick as this.
Turn 6, so...
There's hardly any players left on the field.
So currently there's 3 trees, including deep root, and 1 halfling, and there are 5 corn on the pitch. 2 bloodletters, 2 pit fighters and 1 herald.
There are more players off the field than there are on the field.
Oh god, yeah.
It's an absolute bloodbath.
That's turn over.
Oh,
Your
I
turn
still
7.
can't score though.
No.
But I'll block with deep root. Pow, 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 pow. I'm on the ball.
It's starting to smell like a draw, isn't it?
Now, you can guarantee that almost anywhere, at any time, in any sport, if someone says something like, starting to smell like a draw, isn't it? No matter how late in the day it is, or even that you have possession of the ball, something is about to happen that is going to prove you very, very wrong. Just ask Kevin Keegan and Murray Walker.
1, 2, blitz.
Take root.
Yeah.
That's a command. Take root. Oh, damn it.
1, 2, go for it.
He is on his backside.
It's a cool game.
Shit!
So turn 7.
Very cool game.
So I still need some batshit nonsense here. Some
Fail
hero.
the
So
pick-up. Fail
1, 2,
the pick-up.
3, 4, 5. It should be nice to get someone an organiser.
It comes down to this.
Get some 3
Got to
plus.
fail the pick-up.
Oh,
Got to
comes
succeed
down
the
to
pickup.
this.
Fail the pick-up.
Oh,
Yeah!
it's a 3. 3.
But I'm gonna hold it here, so because you're a turn ahead, aren't you? So and you've got all this players to come back, so I'll just go there and hope to get that you don't pull any nonsense out.
2 treatment down.
And it's your turn 8.
So down to turn 8.
With Alex now in possession of the fumbled ball and within reach of the touchdown, Liam had just one last long shot at preventing what seemed an inevitable defeat.
What I'm going to do,
Liam has opposition
stand him
deep
up.
Yeah.
in his territory.
then I'm going to stand deep root up, so I don't need to take root, but I need timber.
Okay.
And I'm going to throw that fling at your ball carrier.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yes,
Ah! He doesn't stand up. So I'm done. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So touchdown.
Yeah, yeah.
Well played.
Cheers, mate. Cheers. So it's a 2-1 loss.
Yeah, so
2-1
2,
in the final turn.
1,
Yeah,
and casualties was 2 to me and like 4 to you. My word. That was nuts. Thank you very much. Though. What
that
a
was
fun
a
game.
really good
Crazy,
game.
crazy game.
That was a good game. So yeah, 4 losses in the end, 2 draws.
There's a lot of strong teams. There's a lot of tier 1, 2.
So the final result was
2-1, but all my games I've had 4 losses, 2 draws. With halflings, but 3 complete losses today.
Hero of the Flings going semi-well.
Yeah, not bad. So 2 draws onto the list, mate. If I got 6 losses, I'll be a bit. But no, I got 2 draws, so I'm quite happy.
There's been a lot of stunty action this weekend, wasn't there? Like 6 teams or something.
6 stunters, yeah.
So.
Is there a Stunty Cup in
There,
there?
oh yes.
There is, yeah.
Yes.
Stunt there.
Yes.
It's
Started
not
here.
mine.
I was going to say, any chance you're in the running for it?
No, I think I might be last.
You were yesterday.
Yeah, but now I'm not. So yeah, I think I'm last now.
Yeah, because there were a bunch of people on 6 points at 1 point yesterday. Because it was 6 for a win and 2 for a draw. And like yesterday, Liam had 2 draws at 1 point, and Chris had 2 draws, and Battle Puppy with his goblins also had 2 draws.
Yeah.
And then Pete had a win, didn't he? But I think Pete's got 2 wins now.
So yeah.
That's probably seals the deal.
I mean, I can't grumble. It was all right, but I just think I'm a bit last now.
It depends actually, because those two on bottom table are both playing goblins and might draw.
If they draw, I'm definitely last.
Although it really doesn't matter because he's just got his pro box out.
Yeah, life's good again.
It's pretty sweet.
These are really nice, aren't they?
Gotta love the pro box.
Love the pro box.
Just going to go put some results in.
Cool. Thank you very much, Alex.
As Liam had tried but been unsuccessful in being fastest finish, there was still over an hour to play in the final game, so myself and Liam decided to have a wander around. We started in the gaming shop, which is called Element Games, which is a large, fully stocked gaming shop complete with numerous drooling tabletop gamers looking longingly at boxes upon shelves. Even to a non-gamer, I found the shop impressive, just like in some kind of spy or action movie. However, at the back of the innocent-looking shop is a small and very innocent-looking double door, which when opened reveals a large gaming hall. The Northwest Gaming Centre stands before you, like something out of the Chronicles of Narnia as you step through the door of the wardrobe to see a very different, but even more awesome sight than the one you leave behind. It's an amazing tournament in a near-perfect venue for the event. I didn't play in it, but everyone I've spoken to spoke even more highly of the tournament than I do. I'd like to say thanks again to Alex for having us at the tournament and for speaking to us on the podcast. But now I'll hand over to Liam and myself on our little walkabout around the water bowl.
So we're here at the water bowl in Stockport, just having a wander around.
This is a whole new era for you, isn't it?
This is like, it's delved down the rabbit hole.
This is what I play as well, Age of Sigmar.
Okay.
I use ogres.
These are the happy people who are not pleased with the shape of your dice.
Yeah. Well, yeah, this is all Age of Sigmar. This is 40k. This is more the sci-fi fighting.
Yeah. Oh, this is the one that Kieran plays.
Most people play 40k. Yeah, X-Wing, that's what I'm playing next.
Star Wars. Ah, yeah, you see there's a niche there, isn't there?
Everyone loves this. So it's like shooting, flying around space, and X-Wing's really good. It's a good game.
Wherever you find geeks, you find Star Wars.
Yeah.
It's the law.
DC.
Oh, they range it out into it as well.
Mate,
They've not got enough on with the films and everything.
Yeah, exactly.
This place is amazing.
You ever been to a game shop?
I went into, what's the one in Nottingham? Not Games Workshop, it's on the hill. Oh, I can't remember what it's called now. So now we're into the paint section.
Yeah, I ended up spending a fortune.
Wow. Every shade of every imaginable colour you could think of. Flash Gits yellow. I like it.
Fixer. So you will start learning what all this is.
So this is all your base grass and stuff like that.
Say what?
So this is all your base grass and stuff like that.
That's what I'm playing at the minute.
Shades. Ah, right. So how would you describe that?
Shadespire?
Yeah.
It's like hexagon fighting. So you're just moving in and out of spaces, and it's like fighting, and you've got to get objectives and stuff. I love it how you're just like, this is like all new to you. Like, I always come to this kind of place, I love it. I can sit and do this all day.
Well, this is what I do with guitar shops. So I will travel the length and breadth of the country and go wandering around guitar shops. So basically when you come into the building, it's on a little warehouse estate type thing. And you come up the stairs and you come through the shop. And then you get to the back of the shop and like a little secret room at the back of the shop. And there's a massive tournament room there. And there's like 50 people all playing Bloodbowl. And then you come into the gaming room where there's still an hour left on the clock of the final game. There's also alcohol and snacks for your refreshment.
See all the models? Look at these here, look.
Have a wander over and look at the models.
See, look.
Oh, they're huge.
High house.
Wow.
Some of the painting and that's incredible.
Oh, look at that. That Nurgle. Right there.
Painting on it's amazing.
They're ogres, that's what I use in Age of Sigmar.
Those are like the things from
Look how
Lord of the
rusty
Rings.
the armour is, look. Look at that bad boy.
Oh, wow. You see, the thing is, that's massive. So, is painting that easier than painting something particularly tiny?
It's easy, yeah. Really easy.
But,
Look at this here,
the artwork on the wings is absolutely phenomenal.
Have you ever seen it all set up?
No. That's our old friend Christian again. And as you can hear, he's absolutely loving it. He's beating a small child, yelling at him. think he's actually trying to make him cry. We'll see.
Who's dying now?
Oh my God, is he getting flinged again?
Come on, Islam! And welcome to the jam! Come on, Islam! You're gonna jam!
Every time I played a fling, it's went bad for me.
What's the
I
score?
got pitched cleared last
1-0 for me,
Five
and
flings.
look at the ball. It's my drive.
Oh no!
I had 6 rerolls for this half.
6 rerolls.
Yeah, I got 5 now. Yeah, your turn.
Leave them to it for the moment. I go and see Johnny. That sounds like the most entertaining game in the whole building, because he's going mental.
That's the top table. These are guys that are winning. So that's the live feed here.
So this is where they have the live feed. On the top table as it is.
Always undead. Undead are always at the top.
So it's Undead versus who?
What else?
From what little I know, it's always Wood Elves. And apparently always Undead. It's all very tense at this table. All very quiet.
So it's 1-0 at the minute. 5P's winning.
With Undead.
Undead. Yeah. Undead.
It was at this point that we wandered over to Andy Davo's table, who streams a number of games every week on his Twitch TV channel, and I realised that myself and Andy had met before in a previous life.
Hey mate.
Hello.
How are you getting on?
I'm alright. The dice have been nice.
Oh.
Bullshit. Depends on your perspective, really, isn't it? It's all relative.
So yeah, this is Andy, by the way. Yes.
We went to school together.
Yeah, I thought so, yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
We did indeed, yes.
Oh. Well, Mike's the guy who does my podcast, and Andy's the guy who does Twitch TV.
Right.
The Andy Davo.
Yeah. Small world.
We do quite a lot of plugging for Andy. So, you need to start doing more plugging for me, though, don't you?
Yes.
What's the score now then? 2-0?
1-0. I received, he stole it off me, I managed to steal it back, and we took the ball from here to there, and
So who is it versus who?
so I'm playing Necro, and I'm playing against my team, Dark Elves.
Your team, yeah. How come you've not gone to Dark House this time?
I've played a lot of Dark Elves recently, and I thought, I fancy something slightly different, so let's try something different.
You're so good at Dark Elves. I think you beat me 4-1, I think, on it, with Dark Elves, something like that.
See, I'm still considering. I've just started out playing in the last 3 weeks.
Oh, okay, wow.
So started out as Pro Elves because they're nice and simple and easy, and was thinking of moving over to Dark Elves or.
Dark Elves are definitely the best elves.
Yeah.
Now look at that. JTY is like the best painter in the world. Look at these. Look.
Oh wow, they are phenomenal. Okay, that takes it to a slightly another level, doesn't it?
Did you win? No. Quite high up though.
Oh, the skulls on the bases is something else.
Then we wandered past Andy Thor's table, upon which lay an amazing-looking replica of Thor's hammer.
Thor's hammer.
It's not that heavy.
You're not even supposed to be able to pick it up. So that's in there. That's Andy Thor. So yeah, he does Bloodbowl.
Bloodbowl.
Bloodbowl, yeah, and every year they do it for charity. So they do like you play Bloodbowl, all the money that goes to charity, and then what also he does like an auction.
Yeah.
So we're donating a full painted team for him from the halflings. We give it to him, and then he auctions it off, and then all the money goes to charity. Oh, sweet. So yeah, he does stuff like that as well.
So back with Christian again.
Trying to move.
Let's go around to
Trying to move the
We're gonna go have a quick word with the man dressed as a chef.
So Christian's using halflings. Christian's my roommate as well. So yeah, that's my roommate. Me and Christian had a thing where
And
we're
the
going
second
to.
going for it, for the hit, with 3 die until you wolf. He gets the pow! Kapow, boy! And you know what? I will pass out.
And Christian gets an 8.
Mighty blow. And he's facing down. Okay, get to sleep.
I get the impression he really likes this game.
Oh yeah. Well, you're in your halflings. It's like to get a win like this. It's just so
Oh,
good.
dodge steal.
Yeah, boy!
Now, like, because I did my first game the other week, and this would have been the nightmare first game, because he would have not shown me any mercy whatsoever.
No, you can't.
And then rubbed it in my face.
You can't, when you're halflings, you can't show like any mercy. You've got to really go out and beat everybody as much as you can. You can't be nice.
And even in that case, you sometimes only get 2 draws.
Yeah, 2 draws. Unbelievable. Good to it.
So with victory now in the bag and the game over, we managed to grab a quick word with our new friend Christian.
So, I'm joined with Christian. What's your enough name, Christian?
My enough name is Raxel.
Raxel. And Christian, how many wins did you get?
I did get only 1 win, but 2 draws with halflings.
Wow.
And that's, I think it's a win in my book.
Of course it is. That's a massive win.
Yep.
Absolute massive win. So, how did your last game go? What did you do in your last game?
In my last game, my rival was crying and stuff. I don't get why. Maybe because I won 2-0. Maybe because I caused 7 actual casualties, plus 2 or 3 by falling.
Whoa.
And he was playing necromantic.
Whoa, that's a massive intro.
That's maybe the point where he started to cry. But he's alright.
Yeah, Christian was just shouting at a kid.
Yeah, I played a kid. What's up?
He played a kid and he was like, in your face! Did he?
boy!
Dear me. So now you've took halflings, what would you do on your next tournament? Are you quite happy with? Because you took Cara, didn't you?
In my next tournament, I might take halflings again, but I want to try a Keely halfling setup.
Oh, okay.
That's a halfling with Dauntless, with Mighty Blow, and with Block.
Oh.
That will be awesome.
A halfling with Dauntless and Mighty Blow.
Yep.
Fucking
Unexpected.
hell. That sounds fun.
Yeah. For me, not for me, right?
Yeah, that sounds really good. Dear me. So what's your next tournament you're going to?
The next tournament I'm going, it's in April, back in Spain. It's called the All World Cup. And it's 135 TV for the stunties, so it's amazing.
That's really nice. What are you going to take?
Probably halflings.
So what star players and stuff? Are you going to stick to the same?
The star players, yeah, I'm sticking to Carla Von Kill.
Oh.
She was amazing in the tournament.
Was she really?
Yeah.
See, I always take deep root. I'm too scared not to take deep root. I always take deep root.
Yeah, deep root is good, but I don't like paying that much for a player that only moves 3.
Yeah.
Because Carla wins games.
Yeah.
A ball carrier with blodge and strength 4, she just wins games.
Yeah, but did you take Puggy?
Nope.
No, I
not
took
Puggy
Puggy.
because I had to sacrifice rerolls.
I
preferred rerolls.
You see, I sacrificed all my rerolls. I
Yep.
actually took deep root, Puggy, and no rerolls.
Yeah.
However, my chef did take 2 rerolls every single time.
Because you're brave. Nothing rewarded. I'm a coward, and my chef didn't work
Oh,
quite
it was
good.
so good. It worked so well. It did work well, even though I got 2 draws and 4 losses. But
Okay.
it worked. It definitely worked. It worked. Well, thank you very much, Christian. Anyway, it's been
Thank you.
it's an absolute pleasure as well, mate, meeting you and stuff. And hopefully, I'll see you again. Definitely.
Hopefully you're coming down to Spain. Or...
Yeah. Well, I'm going to Riva next year.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Riva's
We'll meet
really
there.
big. Yeah. Are you going to the NAF this year?
I don't think so. I don't think
Oh
so.
no, the NAF's so good. 300 players.
Yeah, but it's so close to exams and stuff.
Oh, rubbish. Well, definitely see you again anyway, mate. Thank you very much.
And as the sun set on subtropical Stockport, my day at the Water Bowl was coming to a close.
It was competitive.
All that was left was to hand out the awards, where 2 familiar names cropped up, but not necessarily for winning. First of all was the newly introduced and probably never to be run again
Best costume. It's only one contender. So go on, Chris.
which went to our good friend Christian for his stunning chef's outfit from the spring collection of 2018.
We'll stick with the alternative achievements and sometimes at a tournament, day 1 goes really well and then day 2 you go off a cliff. So where's J-Bone?
The other familiar character that popped up was from episode 3, and that was Johnny J-Bone Ball, who won the Off the Edge of a Cliff award, which was the award that you got for having an absolutely stunning first day and then an absolutely terrible second day. As we know from the episode, things were alright in the end, as on Tuesday he went to the Derby Bloodbowl League and had one of the best games of his life. But I had my own tournament to think about. My team was all assembled, the process of painting had gotten underway, I still had no idea what a roster even was, and the tournament was rapidly approaching. Fast forward to a few days before the tournament, and Liam introduces me to the concept of rosters. Now obviously I'd heard the word roster before, but had no real concept of what it was and what this meant in terms of Blood Bowl. Again, I just assumed, having got the Elfheim Eagles team from Games Workshop, that teams just had a fixed number of players. I'd heard of star players, of course, but again, I just thought that they were something you would bring in addition to your actual team. I had no concept of rosters whatsoever. Again, fast forward a couple of days to the morning of the tournament, and I'll hand over to myself just before I was about to go and pick Liam up so we could get on our way to the bloody shovel bowl. So, hello and good morning everyone. It's just gone 7:30 in the morning. Just about to get in the car to go and pick up my friend Liam. And I'm supposed to be picking him up at 8:30, but I'm pretty sure that's not going to happen because it's currently 7:36 and I'm talking to you guys. Bob Gray making wait. So I'm playing with Pro Elves. I finished painting, or mostly painting, my team at around about 3 o'clock this morning. I was about to crawl into bed when I remembered I haven't done my roster and I haven't figured out what skills I'm going to take to the tournament. So I ended up crawling into bed at around about 4:30 this morning. Right on. My team is as follows. So it's basically all the players that come in the set. So 2 blitzers, 2 catchers, 2 throwers and 6 linemen. I've given leader to one of my blitzers. I've got 2 throwers, both with sure hands because I hate dropping it when I'm trying to pick it up. 4 of my linemen have got block. The total value that we had available for our team was 1,120,000. With that, I've managed to get the standard team plus 3 rerolls, and I've got a reroll with my leader as well. Oh, and I have 1 apothecary. My team's called the Society for the Promotion of Elfish Welfare because I'm a big Harry Potter fan. Simple as that, really. I'll read you the names quickly. Blitzers are Bill and Ben, catchers are Itchy and Catchy, throwers are Chuck and Norris, and the linemen are Dave, D, Dozy, Beaky, Mick and Titch. It was 4 o'clock in the morning. Give me a break. So we're going to see how it goes. Basically, after being beaten by both Liam and Danny, I'm not very hopeful about today. I haven't even scored a touchdown as of yet, so I'm not massively hopeful I'm going to get anything. Kind of beginning to see why Alan and Dan have had so few wins under their belt, because I've really struggled in my games. Realistically, I want to score a touchdown today. I'd like 1 play that goes well, or failing that, a spawny-ass touchdown if nothing else will go. But I've not yet had a play that's worked, so I'd quite like a play that goes right. The very best I think I'm going to hope for today is if I can slow some of the guys down without getting squished too much with my elves with no armour. I hope I might be able to scrape a draw. That's the best I think I'm going to manage. Anyway, Liam will be doing his nutting and he'll kick my ass as well as the other guys that I'm going to play today, so I'll catch up with you guys in a bit. Ta-ra! So we arrived at the tournament, held in a lovely little country pub, and predictably we were running a little bit late, or bang on time as I prefer to put it. We were walking in the door at 29 minutes past 9, the event was due to start at 9:30, so we piled in and we're lined up with our first matches. My first match was against Steve Cross, who is quite well known on this podcast. He's going to pop up in an interview in a short while as well, but he's also one of the best Blood Bowl players in the country. Anyway, he was a charming man, helped me out a lot with my first tournament game, was very understanding when I forgot to announce passes or move my turn counter. He helped me through my first game a lot. The result was probably somewhat predictable. So with the first game out of the way, myself and Liam met up with the tournament organiser, which was Ollie, and a very good friend of the guys on the podcast from the Leicester Blood Bowl League, Danny Richardson.
Hello, it's Liam. I am at the Bloody Shovel Bowl. My name is Longstride on the NAF's website. I'm actually joined with the promoter and the tournament runner, which is Ollie, and I'm also joined with a special guest as well, which is Danny Richardson, who I've been trying to get on the show for quite a while actually.
Hello, NAF name Leap as well. That's recent.
Actually changed it.
That's recent news. Yeah, I got that changed about 2 weeks ago.
Oh my god, I can't believe you changed it to Leap. Have you got a NAF name as well?
I think it might be Run Granny Run. For their slow teams, get moving. So
that was the whole point of saying enough names, because people do have some fucking stupid. Ron Granny runs quite good. For people who don't know who Danny Richardson is, Danny is the idiot moron guy who did the leap thing that people moan about. Was it you?
Oh, that you?
People were like, who did leap? Fucking leap.
I'd like to take the credit, but it was a guy in my league called Peter Bursill, and he actually started it. It wasn't just leap. There used to be things like enormous testicle and prolapse anus, which weren't even skills. So we stopped them, but then it just. It's good for a bounce, isn't it, the prolapse anus? We should have made some skills. Yeah.
I think you should have done the sugar bowl. It's like, if a player's going to go for it, you can get an extra go for it. But if he's got a prolapse anus, it's a threat. Yeah, you can roll a 3+ if you know you get a prolapsed anus.
But he's quite a character.
Every time it comes up, it's like Dan Richardson commented, but I'm not even reading that. It's definitely Lee.
It's become like a thing now, isn't it?
The
thing is, when I try and seriously help people though with a nice, considered response, someone just replies "leap" to it. So I can't even actually do it.
Me too. I've noticed that as well. You was like, oh yeah, these models are really nice. Loop. Dear me. Right. So anyway, so that's Danny Richardson. Ollie, your tournament at the minute. We're on the first game.
Yep.
You've had to join in there as
well.
So your first game was good, bad.
Well, it was. I ended up with Amazons, which is a decent team to play against. Bretonians though got punted a bit, 3-0 loss.
There's actually a Bretonian team.
Yeah. Well, it's been a bit controversial.
I can't believe that people are actually using them, aren't they? I can't believe that's actually happening in tournaments. Why people bringing Bretonians? Are they tier 2 in this tournament as well?
They're tier 1.
Wow. Tier 1. I don't even think they deserve. I think they're tier 2. I think Bretonians should be tier 2.
I think enough said they're tier 1.
Yeah,
they did. I called out as well, actually.
Yeah, I would think you're tier 2. So you're playing Bretonians and you lost.
I lost, 3-0. Got a lot of injuries straight away. All my blitz is gone, so
3-0. You lost 3-0. So I'll be playing you two next. I lost.
Is that a surprise?
I lost. I took halfling. So I'm actually doing a year of the Flings starting today. So I wanted to hopefully next year for the Sugar Bowl will be my last halfling game.
Oh, okay.
I will not be playing halflings again after the first game ever. I just lost my worst defeat ever, which was 6-1.
Wow.
I just lost 6-1.
Well played.
Yeah. Well, I got a touchdown.
Yeah, that's true. It's a victory.
What 6-1?
What were you up against?
What else? I got 8 failed pickups. So 8 failed pickups. No armor breaks. Ridiculous. Worst game. Yeah, I'm quite sore at the moment. Yeah. I'm sore. I mean, when I say sore, I mean like. Not my arse. Prolapse anus. Yeah.
So did we all lose though? Because I lost 3-2. This is the losers corner. Can you get any winners on?
I don't know how it happens, but this podcast just attracts people.
Attract losers.
I can't help it. No matter how hard I try, it's like everyone loses.
One of us has got to win though next, right?
I'm hoping I get Mike, because Mike, who's recording us at the minute, who is kind of hiding from us, but Mike is going to be, without anybody noticing, one of the new co-hosts. Because Mike is.
Did you know this?
It did. Okay. It's his first tournament. It is your 3rd game ever in Bloodbowl, and Mike is testing the tournaments out. So Mike is going to be our new. What do you think, Mike? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I know Mike. I kind of know my stuff, and then Alan is Alan. And then we've got Mike. So you got Mike's a noob, Alan's an I don't know if there's a word noob. What could you call Alan? He's not a noob, but is shit. So it's like a shoob. Yeah.
Alternative thinking coach.
There you go. Yeah,
it'd be nice.
Yeah. So, but Mike is going to be joining us.
Alan maybe read Death Zone 7, and he's just getting ready for when very long legs is a thing for Chaos Warriors.
I can tell you, Alan's been playing for I think it's over a year now, 2 years I think, and I think it's 2 years. I'm not sure. I introduced him to Bloodbowl. Is it 2 years? Yeah. So Alan's been playing 2 years, and he's never read the rule book.
Do you need any of them? Do you need to?
Does he know the rules? Nothing. No, he's never read them. Never read them. Ask him. You go, oh, you read what? He's like, no, I don't need to. Yes, you do. Alan. Like, how do you play the game? He's like, I have to go by ear.
By ear?
Yeah. Ask him. The thing is, he's got as far as he has. He's actually got wins on his belt, which is...
Yeah, but isn't it like 5 out of 130 or...
It's more than that. It's 5 wins and then it's about 200 losses he's on.
200?
Yeah, it is. If you play halflings, then it's like you can kind of get used to the grasp of losing. But if you are playing, I mean, it's dwarfs. I mean, you shouldn't be losing that much.
Should be smashing.
Yeah, exactly. But he's not.
Have you had any wins with your halflings?
Yeah, I beat Alan.
I beat Alan. Where is he? Is he?
Yeah, I beat Alan 2-0. Did you see the video that Alan put up? Did you see it on the? If you look on our Facebook, there's Alan. I think he's on the toilet. He's on the toilet, and he's like.
He left a Justin for champ on, and he was breaking wind halfway through. Can I plug that actually? Can I plug that?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. We was gonna get into that. There is actually. You explain the story. You go for it.
I don't even know if there is a backstory. I mean, it's important. You just need to just support Justin for champ. So he's a player in the Leicester Bloodbowl League, Justin. He's already won basically. There's no point in even playing. I think he's won like first 9 games in a row.
Yeah, he's doing it well, isn't he?
Yeah. But the thing is, he perceives it as pressure. So he's not actually a supporter of the campaign, which has encouraged everybody to make it.
To push it,
to push it really. So we've got celebrity endorsements. I've just had 20 t-shirts printed as well. So our gaming club, we just had like half the room just in pink like shirts with Justin's face
for champ. It's brilliant, and you can get on
Facebook to like frame your avatar. Yeah,
the frame.
Wow,
Justin for champ.
That's official now.
It is. Yeah,
hashtag
Justin for
champ. It's official. It's brilliant. And there was a great quote from his opponent, and he said it like really seriously. It's just like, I was really scared. Like I turned up, and then halfway through, everyone started putting t-shirts on with my opponent's face on. I think he lost like 5-2 or something after that.
Solid abuse.
Yeah.
That's so good. I hope he wins. He's got to win.
He's got to win.
How many games has he got left?
I don't even think he can not get in the playoffs, even if he lost. If he didn't play anymore now.
How many times has he lost?
This is the 5th season. So
the 5th season.
Yeah,
and he's been in every season.
He's been in every one. Yeah.
And he's lost everything.
He's not doing. I think he came 4th in the first season. I came 3rd, and then I don't know where he came.
You always
come 2nd.
Danny always comes 2nd. Yeah. Not comes.
That's what she said.
Good lad.
Danny always finishes. Like in tournaments, you're always 2nd. You're always You're always in the final. And you always lose.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Every single time, like you've got the TT that you did at
lost to Andy Davo.
Yeah.
Who diced me?
Who diced?
That's always the excuse.
Yeah, but you were always you're always losing.
I'm 2nd 3 times in Leicester now. I'm in the final of the NBBL with my Goblins.
Right.
I'm going to lose that. But it's an achievement. It counts with Goblins anyway.
Yeah, you've already won.
I've won the hearts of people. I've won the hearts. And they're here today as well.
Are you on for the win today though?
I've lost the first game, but Keith, Lord of the Skies, he's got 2 touchdowns again. He's unstoppable, so he's
on it today, is he?
Yeah. If I can play someone that doesn't know how to play Bloodbowl, I think I can get a win.
Might play you.
So
Mike's in.
You never know.
So how's your tournament anyway going at the minute for your first game?
Yeah, this is
first tournament.
This is it is. Yeah.
Are you quite new then?
Yeah, I played a lot online, but I haven't really played much live, and obviously haven't just run the pubs and that. I just kind of thought fun to get into. So done this, slaved away, set up some boards, got a couple of goofy ones.
You were running this. How are you coping with the scores coming in?
Not bad. For me, it's been my first time. I still learn a few bits and bobs.
Yeah,
but we've got it set up, we've got it running, people are here, so people are drinking beer.
Yeah,
so that's all you can do, isn't it?
See, I'm steaming now. I'm absolutely battered. I went out last night.
Didn't you on one podcast say you were drunk after a whiskey though?
Oh my god!
What?
The first podcast we ever did, we had to scrap it. You heard it, didn't you? We had to scrap it, right? I don't honest. You know, you get these bottles of Jack Daniels, the minis.
Yeah.
I bought a bunch of them, so I was like, it's a shot. So I was just drinking the minis, thinking it was a shot. Yeah. So by the time it hit the podcast, I was like, fucking hell, what is going on? Oh my god, I can't see straight or anything. And then I tell you what, we should release it. because it's so bad. It's like, because I'm just like Alan's talking, I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about, and you shut up, you twat. I go proper chavvy and horrible, and it's just like, just like go dead horrible. Like, I don't know what happened to me. And then it's like, I can't even remember recording it. Like, I was so drunk. And it's like, now I went out last night, it was my cousin's surprise 30th, and I was like, well, I need a hair and a dog, and then it went down pretty well. I know, it's
only just got midday in it now. I think you got another 6 hours to go.
I know, I'm on my like 4th beer. Oh my god, my missus.
Keep going.
Yeah, why not? Drink through it.
I've got to go drink through it, yeah. But so far, I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
This is
great
Derby. We're not in Derby, are we?
It's Derbyshire, isn't it?
It's Derbyshire, because it's a lot friendlier, because the first tournament I went to, Derby.
They called you a twat, didn't they?
It was worse. It was another format. We were there like really early. It was like 7:45 or something. And thought, I'd be nice and sleep. We parked up in the world's most secure car park, actually do. And we went down. And I don't know Derby very well, but the bit where the tournament was quite nice. It's like a little like arcade like shop. It's quite nice. And we were walking down in the morning, and his car light sort of drove past, slowed down, rolled the window down. Someone just went.
Hey!
Trevor, welcome.
But we were like, yeah, that's what we were like. It's like, well, that's dead nice of it. That's what's going. All right, mate. Welcome to Derby. All right, welcome. Did you know it's the 6th safest place in the world?
What?
Did you know that? It is the 6th safest place. You've got, I was reading it, I was on a plane, right? This is true. I don't know where I was flying. I remember opening it going, top 20 safest places in the world. Number 1, the Pentagon or something like that. Yeah. And then number 2, I don't know. It was stuff like that. And Alcatraz was number 3, and then it was like number 4, Derby Park Safe. What the fuck is Derby Park Safe? And it's like the 5th or 6th, or I can't remember, but it's the safest place in the world.
Wow, I was impressed.
But
this is nicer. It's definitely nicer.
Derby is really nice.
Pretty nice area as well here.
Derby's lovely. It is really nice. The accent's a bit odd, like you were saying. Our accent's a bit. You can't figure it out sometimes. Alan's got a proper Derby accent. I don't like the eat duck.
Where are you from?
Me, I'm from Derby.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I've got a Derby accent. Yeah, so my mum's English and my dad's Irish, so it makes me.
Did you think?
No,
I am Welsh. Some people get saying I am Welsh because it's like if your mum's English and your dad's Irish, it makes you Welsh. That's what people say. Like, so you're Welsh? No, I'm English.
Not at all.
Just because my dad's Irish and my mum's English. Fucking hell. We're supposed to be talking about a tournament.
Oh yeah.
For sake. This is what happens every time, doesn't it? Every time we do a recording, we just go off topic.
There's no point, because other people have been talking about a tournament. They're taking it really seriously. Like one guy was like, I'm taking Darkhouse, what skills would I have in round 3?
Bollocks to that. There's no
stop it.
I made mine up on the spot because someone obviously didn't turn up, so I had to just put a team together with someone else's team.
Yeah,
so like whatever I've got hammered, but you know.
Exactly. That's exactly what it's like when I go to tournaments. I mean, I love it when people are like, yeah, I was playing here, I had a really good game, but I moved here, I got 2 go for it, moved there, then a little bit there, then I picked up the ball, then there, but then I got 2 go for it there and there. But if he picked up that, and then I'm like, mate, shut up. How did you get on? 2-0, brilliant. You had a good game. No, the guy was a wanker. Brilliant. Thank you very much. That's what I want to hear. I don't want to hear
67% chance.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's like, come on.
Pass to a monitor.
Tell me how you get like what was your experience like? I mean, Dan Smedley, who just smashed him 6-1.
Yeah,
like, he had the smuggest face on him, and I was like, okay, I'm half court, right? I got a guy who's dead smug and who's battering me 6-1. I'm like, fucking. But he was lovely, and what a great guy, you know. And I was sitting there going, whoa. I did predict 5-0. I did kind of predict it correctly, and I did get my touchdown. So if I didn't get that touchdown, I would have been really bitter. And this would have been awful.
I made it better, didn't it?
Yeah. I got a touchdown with Flings. I'm happy.
Who scored it?
You see, I try not to name Flings because they get beat up. It's like, fucking Frodo's dead.
Yeah.
Everyone's got a halfling team. Always there's Frodo in there, no matter what. Even if it's like, I've named them after Pucker Pies. I've got Beef, I've got fucking Hammer League, and then I've got Frodo Baggins. I'm like, Frodo Baggins isn't a pie. What are you fucking talking about? Oh yeah, everyone's got Frodo Baggins. I do anyway, but yeah, 1 touchdown and 6-1. So yeah, but no, 6-1. It's the biggest defeat I've ever had.
That's good.
Biggest, ever. So
something.
You know, and again the year the Flings.
You're for that spoon actually.
Yeah, spoons. Well, it's mine or Mike's.
Yeah.
Because Danny's not.
No, I've lost already. 100% record.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
what is the spoon? Is there a trophy for the spoon?
There's a spoon.
Is it just a spoon?
It is a spoon.
It's a spoon.
It's got a nice handle though. So, not just a bland spoon.
Did you take it from the kitchen?
Yeah. It's just stuck glued out the back of it, yeah.
Are you going to have another tournament coming up, or are you going to be...
Yeah, I'm going to start going to a few more myself now. I'd like to have got up to one before to see other people do it, so I'm sort of learning. But hopefully I can pick it up and sort it out for next time. And it's alright, I think everyone's having a laugh. I mean, that's the main point, isn't it?
That is the whole point.
There's a few people who want to win in that, but most people don't.
Every tournament I've had an email going, oh, you need to change this, you need to change this, I think you should add that. I was like, shut up, mate, that's the rules.
Yeah.
And then that's it. And then, there is a point where you do put
I think I've learned, it's been quite good having, like, most people have been pretty good for any rules and stuff like that we want to clarify on, like, how many skills you can take or whatever. Like, I've generally put it out to everyone and everyone's come back with a general consensus of, like, So everyone's been really helpful, actually.
Yeah, they would be. That's really good as well. I mean, you'll find the Bloodbowl community is really good.
Yeah.
Aren't they? They're really nice.
I think
I'll play Age of Sigmar and they're horrible bastards.
They
are absolute bastards. Honestly, it's not.
Oh, well, sorry, but your dice are a bit funny shaped. I want to. Oh, fuck off.
Yeah.
Just fuck off. Seriously, yeah. Also, as well, now you've got this here. I mean, are you going to be running a league in this pub, or is this something that you're going to be?
I was hoping to build up a bit of like a gaming sort of group around here. So I mean, it's there. I was maybe looking at doing all the sort of more specialist games, so maybe doing like a more time thing or something. I don't know, because you don't see any of that. So I just thought, why not see just when I like. And I would do like a bloody shovel bowl too, though. I think it's something. Keep moving them on and keep. Yeah. It'd be nice to get some recordings and stuff like that. It's cool with you guys.
Yeah, of course it is. Of course, we would always be. Every tournament I go to every year. As soon as I hit it, that's like my plan for every year, every single time. Do you want to set up a tournament? Or
There might be one later in Leicester.
Okay.
Called King Bowl.
Yeah, because I remember you were saying you were looking for venues and stuff as well. So it's like
6-1
for each one. There you go. You need a 6-1 thing. Back to Ollie and your tournament. So, running, like you said, you're running on your own in a minute. Like, what would you change?
I'd definitely get a second person to help out. Getting all like the scores and stuff in is fine, but it's quite a bit of a mission getting everyone in together and on time and stuff. We had people late this morning, and it knocks you back like a quarter of an hour. Then you lose your lunch a bit.
We were the late.
You were the late one.
Yeah.
It was you bastards. But it's not too bad.
I blame Mike. I said, look, get there for 8:30. Me expecting him to be here for 9 o'clock. Well, quarter to 9. Yeah, but you turned up at 9.
Yeah.
9.
Still doesn't speak.
You can say anything to him now. Abuse him more. He won't reply.
I was going to grab your bollocks then, but no one can see that. And you can't record that.
You'd feel it though, and you'd remember.
Oh, you would remember.
And on that note,
again, this is when you learned when to stop podcasting and recording. Yeah, but Ollie, thank you so much as well, and Danny, thank you so much for joining us. I'm glad I got you on, Danny. Well, thank you so much both of you, and we'll stay tuned for part 2.
After speaking to Danny and Ollie, we went on to have some lunch and then play our second games at the Bloody Shovel Bowl. So my second game was against Drew, who is also a member of the Derby Bloodbowl League, and he was playing with his Goblins team against me, which was really interesting because it was the first time I'd ever seen Goblins and all their weapons, like the little crazy guy who spins around in circles hitting your players, their players, everybody's players, the bomber and chainsaw and various things like that. So it was a very interesting game to play against Goblins, and Drew is also a lovely guy, kept me laughing all the way through. The game itself was very exciting, and we were on the edge of our seat all the way until turn 8. Liam's second game was against Ollie, the tournament runner who we just interviewed, playing with his Amazons. After playing our second games, we met up with Danny Richardson again, but also this time Steve Cross and Dan Atherton from the Double Skulls podcast for a quick chat with them about how things were going.
My name is, again, it's Liam. My name is Longstride. This is part 2 of the Bloody Shovel Bowl. Yeah, I am joined with Dan Atherton and Steve Cross, Danny Richardson and Mike. Hello, Steve.
Hi, Liam. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Just say enough name.
Say your name, bitch.
What's my name? Say my name, bitch!
I'm Charlie Banks. Dan D for Dan from the Double Skulls podcast as well.
And then we got Dan Richardson, Lee. Fucking Lee.
Formerly known as.
He managed to get Lee as your enough name. Yeah. I'm still impressed with that.
Nobody else is going to take it out. It doesn't roll off the tongue as well as your last one, though. I did quite like it.
Yeah. Danny UK 1982 as well.
Fair
enough.
no,
to be fair, mine is an incorrectly spelt nickname from when I was 12. So there you go.
What is it?
D for Dan, but it's not spelt right. As in D.
For
Dan. Yeah. But it's spelled F-E-R.
D for Dan spelled with an F.
With an E in the middle instead of an O. Yeah.
Okay.
3 Q's and a Y.
Eh? Keeps you guessing. It's all about vexing your opponents. How do I actually say his name? You like saying names, I hear, Liam.
There's a guy, but in case people don't know, there's a guy who stood up. I would need to interview because he's taking Bretonians, and I can't say his fucking name. Yeah, Joe's. I can't fucking say his name. I think it's because I'm half cut, but I don't know.
Joseph.
What?
Just
Joseph.
Yeah.
Joseph.
Jesus' dad.
Jesus' dad. I can say Jesus. Jesus is alright. Joseph. There we go. Look, I'm saying it right. Joseph. I'm struggling.
With 2 P's on you.
I am absolutely struggling. Seriously.
It's not even like his company. It's not like Miguel or something like that. It's like,
I'm looking forward to the foreign tournaments when you're interviewing all the Spanish guys.
My name's Van.
What we're supposed to do, we'll say to the guys from my golems, oh, we definitely need to do an interview with you. And he's like, yeah, definitely, sure. But it's like, I don't know if my English is going to be quite good. And I'm like, now I'm thinking it's going to be so bad.
To be fair, he'd match you because your English is not good either.
Well, the idea was, ask the questions what I'm going to ask. He's going to send it back, like email me the answers and whatnot, and then we'll put like a Cockney accent. Something like that, like, how are you finding and making the fling models?
I'm finding it fucking alright. Those flings are all little bastards.
Do you know what I mean? Put on an accent for him. Do you know what I mean? I've not. Yeah, it's Spanish. Yeah.
What about a Spanish accent?
How do you do a Spanish accent?
I'm not doing
How would you do a Spanish accent?
A Spanish, I would. No, it's racist there.
Sidestep swiftly.
Yeah. You got to be dead careful, aren't you? Anyway, so a few questions about the Sanctuary Bowl. How's it going? Was it you who started it off, or you took it over?
There was Sanctuary. The gaming community, they were running a winter tournament, and I went along because actually it was the first time that I'd found a tournament actually within like half an hour of my house, which was amazing. So I played in that. The lady that was running it, she decided she wanted to do a league, but halfway through she got bored, so I sort of took it over just to get to the end of the season, and then I sort of stole Duncan's from the BBL's rule pack and decided we're going to have that. So modelled the Sanctuary setup on the LBBL, so I think that's a fantastically run league. Yeah, we had 12 coaches first season, we've got 16 this season, so it's growing.
16 is really good. 16 is actually quite good, isn't it?
The advent of Bloodbowl actually helped that because a lot of the guys that were on the fence came back into it and started wanting to play again, so that was fun.
Good.
Yeah,
that's because you were there that it drew them. The balancing.
Well, there obviously star
like
power.
a Pied Piper of Blood Bowl. Steve walks in with his flute.
To be honest, all it actually needed was somebody organising it, and that's all it wanted. I mean, I've got to be honest, I did.
I don't want to brag, but
no. But what I did was I knew a lot of the coaches that live around the area, and none of them were playing in that league. So I just told them about it.
You didn't go like calling, did you?
Yeah.
Would you like to join my Blood Bowl league?
Come play, please. They're all rubbish. No. There was quite a few players I used to play with back when I was younger. many years ago.
Was that when the Ovis advert came out?
It was back when piling on was good.
That is the most niche joke.
I love that. That was when piling on was good.
But now we're in first season now, just coming to the end of that. So I'm going to hand it over to Chris Taylor now, who's going to take over running it.
But you're still going to be there, though?
I'm still going to play it, yeah, absolutely.
And it's in Mansfield?
It's Sutton Ashfield.
Sutton Ashfield?
Yeah.
I know they all look the same to me.
Yeah, the Sanctuary Gaming group's actually really good.
It's quite big. 4 job centres in each corner, so it's alright.
It's brilliant in the summer, nightmare in winter.
Right.
Sanctuary League's a good league to play in.
Yeah, good.
It's a good mixture of like new players plus some experience.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's what you need.
Want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you the best player in the league?
That's a very leading question.
Of course he is.
I'm the most experienced player in the league.
You've been playing for 6 years? There's another league.
How long have you been playing?
Down into
What team are you using?
Yeah.
Elves. No, mate, no.
For our game, you're only allowed 800k spending money for some... It's just the thing we do.
I'm certainly the most experienced.
Good answers. So have you won 3 in a row?
I finished runner-up first season because I used ogres. Just record yourself.
Of course I used ogres.
I used ogres and finished second. Yeah, just saying.
Did you only use snotlings?
Second season I used.
Try harder.
I could use snotlings.
Yeah.
Where's Alan?
For people who don't know, Steve was the guy who beat Alan with only snotlings.
Whoa.
Hold up. There's a proviso, I did induce
Morgan
more,
Thorg.
but even so.
Game changer. Morgan Thorg, see, that's
Game changer.
I didn't know that. So you had Morgan, of course you're going to win.
Against the full undead team, yeah, we were close.
Oh no, see now we're going to have to rematch that. You're going to have to just have just snotlings. You can have 16 and then use the rest on rerolls. I think that's fair. But no star players, I think you just need snotlings on its own. And then see if you can win him, because otherwise that there kind of goes obsolete and he won't do it because he's got to hear this recording. Oh, actually, should we just not tell him?
Alan did notice, by the way, at the time that Morgan Thorg was playing against him.
What turn did he notice?
What is that massive snotling? And why is it strength 6?
I can't believe he didn't tell me he had Morgan Thorg though. Do you think he was like, have you bullied him or like scared him or something? Like, you fucking tell him we had Morg. I'll be fucking round yours.
The thing though, if you'd spent the full amount, I would have had Morg and Scrapper.
So it wasn't the water bowl team.
No, it was just created a new team.
And he only spent 900.
Yeah, but it was actually quite clever because that meant I could only have Morg and.
No, it was. Yeah.
I don't think so. No, I think what he probably did was he probably went, that's 11 players. That's all I need.
Oh dear, mate. Now we've got Danny here as well. Danny's from the Double Scores podcast. We just want to talk about the Stone Bowl.
I'm Dan. There's only my gran that used to call me Danny.
Dan. Oh yeah, we've got Dan.
Dan. Oh yeah, Dan.
I'll blame you.
So yeah, how's the Stone Bowl coming on? When is it? What we're going to be doing?
April 21st. Sold out 2 weeks ago for 30 players.
Yeah. There's a rule pack.
Yeah, there's a rule pack. So I contacted the venue and I got 10 more places, which I haven't announced yet, but they've all already sold out.
Already? That's so good.
There's going to be 40 people for one day, so it's going to be a bit of a crapshoot for who wins. There should be quite a lot. There should be quite a lot of people on 3AO, so the little bonus things that I've done should be quite important. So the whole point of the rules pack is 2 weeks before the NAF jump. There's no tiering. It's just like 5 regular skills and 1 double skill.
See, that rules my ogres out.
No, unless you're stunties, in which case you get 6 and 2. If you're stunties.
I've got to be.
And there's a nice stunty cup that we've been sponsored by You Could Sell. And the other thing about it is that I've done some like secret objective cards, which have been produced in the US. Is what we should
I was going to ask you about that.
A guy called Special Play Cards, a guy called Jason, who's based, I think, near Vegas, and he produces them for like 20 cents a card, and then sends it over at cost. So it's probably cost about 80 quid to cover for all the 40 people for a deck of 6 cards in exactly the same style as like the Special Play cards.
Is that the guy who's doing the Las Vegas stuff?
Yeah.
That's
I can't
quite
touch them, but he just did it dead cheap, and it was affordable within the sort of the bounds of what I was trying to do, because I wanted to make it like one little thing that was a little bit different.
It's a really nice touch.
That's so good. I've not been to a tournament that's used cards and stuff.
So the idea.
When you say the same though, you mean not to infringe your copyright?
No.
Very similar. They're exactly even colouring.
They're the same size and shape, and the same modelling, and they're similar font. They say special play cards that come across the bottom, and there's no use of any IP.
Fantasy football instead of Bloodbowl.
Thanks for checking though. Thanks for checking. Yeah, so the special objective cards, the idea of those is that you randomly draw one out of your own personal deck of 5 at the start of each game, and that's your objective. And then each game you play through normally, but your secret card might be like keep a clean sheet or win by more than 2 touchdowns, or there's one that's called Assassinate, which means you have to try and casualty the opposition player's most expensive player or one of the most expensive players. And if you achieve your secret objective, you get a bonus point at the end.
That is so good. That's actually really good. It's like Shakespeare or something.
Yeah, it's sort of reminiscent of a lot of the historical type games that I play as well. And the idea is that when you hand in your results, I'll ask you what card you had that round, because that will be then taken out of your deck. So you'll
so you can't have
4 for the next, and then 3 for the last round. But it's the first tournament that I've run, but the first Bloodbowl tournament I've run anyway, and the first tournament I've run in a few years, and I want to see how the venue works. I'm looking maybe next year keeping it as a one-dayer. But we have to start at midday because Weight Watchers are in the morning.
Do you really?
Yeah.
So Janice
we're starting at midday once they've all shifted out. So we're going to finish quite late, but I'm thinking of maybe making it a 4-game one day and going quite late into the night.
Yeah,
just might be inhibited.
I think I was going to suggest.
Or you could come early if you're feeling a bit porky.
Yeah. Well, I think people need to do that, don't they?
What, mixing Weight Watchers?
I was going to say, you go, you shouldn't eat that. Like, fucking roll your
If you consider the average Blood Bowl, the Weight Watchers isn't a bad shout.
So if you're a skinny lad, you get like a 2-touchdown lead.
Yeah. You need to weigh yourself on here, and then you get points every time you go to a tournament. You get like sorry lad, you lost £2 this month. It's like £2, that's -2. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? You gain points, but the more weight you lose.
Go with it.
Yeah.
Kickstart.
That re-rolls one of my frees.
That is so good. That's brilliant. Well, I'm glad the Stone Bowl's going. I'm glad I got a ticket. Really happy I got a ticket. I will get to Sancho at some point, honestly. I don't think he's told you about me and Johnny doing our tournament. Has he told you about that yet? Yeah. We're doing a 2-day. It's going to be it's kind of the tag team, but we're not. We're doing you can tag a player in. We're going to do some minis and stuff. I'm meeting them on Tuesday. We're going to.
Oh, you mean a miniature?
Yeah. No. I've got loads. I know loads of dwarves. I can do that. Tag the dwarf in, and he comes in and rolls your dice.
That's what I was thinking.
I might even try and do that.
Okay.
You need to tag your dwarf in, and you get a free re-roll if you tag him in. He runs off.
Don't do that.
That is so bad. Yeah, we get Alan rub his belly or something. So yeah, we're going to be the same. But well, thank you so much, guys. Honestly, and again, if anybody wants to go to, it's where is it again? Not Mansfield. Sutton Ashfield, and again, the Stone Bowl sold out, so you can't go to.
Well, there's one ticket actually.
One ticket.
Well, it's probably going to sold out by the time you get this out.
You're goddamn right.
It's a Stoke, though, isn't it?
It is in Stoke. Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, well, it's in Stone, which is why it's called Stone Bowl. Just south of Stoke.
That's the posh part of Stoke.
It's fucking posh part of Stoke.
Yeah.
There is no posh part of Stoke.
No, Stone's quite nice.
Newcastle
you are less likely to get stabbed in Stoke.
I know they make those beer mats that you eat.
Yeah, and then
oatcakes. Beer mats that you eat. The beer mats that you eat.
And probably actually the plate that you eat it off as well. Yeah. Traditionally, anyway.
I'm not drinking anymore. I'm done. Fucking hell.
You say that.
I'm actually in need of beer, so I'm going to. Thank you so much, guys. Honestly, thank you. Yeah, take care. Thank you.
Cheers.
And after that, we went off to play our third games. My third game was against Paul, who gave me my first experience of Wood Elves, and Liam's last game was against my previous opponent, which was Drew, and his goblins. So, the question is, how did we do? For the purposes of building tension, we'll start with Liam's results. Liam's first game was against Dan Smedley's Wood Elves, in which he got beat 6-1. Liam's second game was against the tournament runner, which was Ollie, and his borrowed team of Amazons, which he lost 2-1. Liam's final game was against Drew and his goblins, which he won 2-0, leaving him with 1 win and 2 losses for the Bloody Shovel Bowl tournament. In my first game, I played against Steve Cross and his Orcs. He absolutely flattened me in the nicest way possible and with a lot of help and advice, but the score was still 3-0. My second game was against Drew and his Goblins team, and after a long and hard fought match, ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to say that I won 2-1. My final match, however, was against Paul and his Wood Elves, and I got beat. I did score a touchdown in my defence, but the overall score at the end of my game with Paul was 4-1. So, not only did I achieve my goal of scoring a touchdown, and surpassed my hope of getting a draw, I actually got a win. In your face, Alan. In your face, Dan. To date, things in my Blood Bowl career are not going so well. I did go to another tournament, which you will hear about in episode 4, and didn't do so well. But for the time being, I'm a happy chappy. So, back to myself and Liam to wrap things up.
You got a win. That's good for your first tournament.
I was not going into it very hopeful. I think my objective when I went in was I want to score a touchdown. I don't want to draw, I don't want to win, I'd just like to score a touchdown and it not be a complete waste of a day. But the first game was against Steve Cross and his Orcs, and he did it in the nicest possible way, but he flattened me.
He always does, no matter what team you use.
It was the first time I've seen tactics in a Blood Bowl game, because he held the ball down near my touchdown line for 3 turns.
It's like... Welcome to the world of Blood Bowl, mate. Yeah. That's standard, that.
That's just kicking it to the corner flag and sitting there and waiting.
Well, someone did it to me. I took Flings, of course, and someone did it to me. Yeah, I mean, who sits at the end of the touchdown line?
Against Halflings.
Against Halflings. You know who you are.
Well, anyway, I went as Pro Elves to keep it nice and simple.
Yeah, Pro Elves.
Well, yeah, well, the plan was to go to Dark Elves or not Wood Elves, because everybody seems to hate Wood Elves.
Oh, Wood Elves are awesome.
Yeah, but everybody hates playing them.
Yeah, I got thrashed.
Oh yeah, you got hammered against Wood Elves, didn't you?
And it was Wood Elves, yeah, first game.
Well, I think my last game was against Wood Elves. I got absolutely hammered by Paul. But yeah, the second game I had was against Drew.
The Goblin guy?
Yeah.
Drew the Goblin guy, yeah.
And he had his goblins, which are fantastic and throw bombs and all sorts of random stuff.
Oh yeah, so what did you think about that? Because that's another, I mean, obviously, it's how many games did you play before, just so everyone knows? So you came into Blood Bowl, you've watched videos and you read the rules, unlike Alan, who doesn't really, still have not read the rules.
He's still not got around to
Still
that.
not read the rules. So you read the rules, you had 2 games with me?
Game and a half. Yeah, game and a half with you.
Yeah.
I had a game against Danny Pegg at the DBBL on a Tuesday, and then straight in at the deep end with Steve Cross.
That's not bad. And then you got 1 win. So yeah, I mean, to play goblins,
it was goblins. So, but it was such a good game. Me and Drew were on the edge of our seats just until the last turn, because I was 1-0 up until about turn 4 or 5 in the second half, at which point he equalised. And then we got to about turn 7 in the second half, and I managed to go 2-1 up. And obviously, he didn't have enough time.
I saw you
back.
Smile. I saw you. I won one. I don't care how this day goes. I've won one. I'm so happy.
I came to see you playing, and I'm like, okay, keep it cool. It's like, so how'd you do? And I was like, I won. You went, you what? You won? And I was like, I won against goblins. Oh, well, yeah, against goblins. Yeah, but well done, you won, mate. I was like, well, I've done better than Dan.
Doesn't matter.
Dan's managed in 2 years.
It's a win. It is a win. It is a win. So well done, mate.
Thank you very much.
Well done. And then the third game you played?
Third game was, against Paul and his Wood Elves, and he took me to the cleaners. Absolutely. By the end of it, I had half the team off the pitch, and it was just,
It's always the case, mate.
Wood Elves. But I didn't get the wooden spoon, I didn't come anywhere near the bottom, and I came like a respectable mid-table with my 1 win.
That's good. I did alright. I got 2 losses, I think. I got a loss against Oliver, the runner, leader, or whatever it is. The organiser. Runner, leader, what the...
Who was he playing?
I can't even remember, mate. I was so hungover and drunk. Was it human? No. Oh, Amazons. Here we go. It was Amazons. Yeah, I remember seeing the women on the pitch. Yeah, that's how it goes with me, mate. I got a 6-1 thrashing, and then... Oh, actually, I might have got a draw. No, I can't remember with Oliver. But with Drew, I played Drew in my 3rd game, and I won 2-0. And I'm very happy. And I got the Stunty Cup.
Yeah.
So I'm happy. Stunty Cup for me. My first Stunty Cup. My first tournament and first.
Wait, didn't 2 Drunk Flings sponsor the Stunty Cup in there?
Yeah, I gave the model away.
Oh, did you?
I gave all the
you
gifts.
Didn't win your own
I can't remember who was sat with me. So, someone was just sat next to me. Hey, mate, you can have that. I didn't keep it. I kept the trophy though.
That's
Obviously,
how
I'm going to keep the trophy.
exclusive these miniatures are.
Yeah, just mate. I don't even think he was sat in the tournament. He just sat there having his dinner. He was playing in the tournament. I didn't just go out to a random meeting at dinner. I don't think. I hope not. Can't remember. So yeah, I hope you've all enjoyed the recordings for the tournaments. If you want us from the Two Drunk Flings to come down and, you know, we're going to do a recording somewhere. We've got the Bloodbowl that we're going to. We're going to do some recording that's in Aberdeen, which we're going to. That'll be quite fun. We should be going to the Turncoat next year as well in Belgium.
Stonebull, I think
Stonebull, we're going in April. Yeah, Stonebull, yeah, that's going to be good. So yeah, if you guys want us to record it, just private message me or private message Mike. It's Mike Armitage. You're going to hear a lot more about him when he's got his channel up and running, because all our stuff's going to be going through his channel now. So it'll be a YouTube channel dedicated towards, well, it's going to be Mike's, but it'll be dedicated to us anyway. So if you wanted to check out him, if you want actually podcast recording, as always, go to Dynamic Mike. Again, you'll find his channel when we release episode 3 and 3.5. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed going to your tournaments, and welcome to Bloodbowl, Mike. Well done, mate.
I'm now officially baptised into the world of...
Oh no, you're not baptised yet.
Oh no,
no, not until you flip your board and you start crying and you've stormed out, or you've melted a dice and sacrificed to the gods, or you've purposely destroyed a model just because he didn't score a touchdown.
Already started superstition with dice. And the weird thing is that Alan lent me a couple of goblin dice, and I've become quite attached to them. They do quite well, but I'm going to have to give them back because he quite likes them as well. Alan, I will give you your dice back as soon as I see you next.
I've got my own set of dice now, and I only use these dice and nothing else, because I lent them to Hugh and he got all my sixes. I'm not even getting into that. That's another part of the episode, which in episode 4 we'll be talking about.
Yeah, we'll go into that on episode 4, but
I'm still bitter. 2 weeks on, I'm still bitter.
There was a whole saga with dice. I don't know, it must be like wands in Harry Potter, and they just know, they have this sixth sense about who's throwing them and what they need and what they require. It was
God. It's the God Nuffle. That's what it is. It's the God Nuffle. He's a bastard. He's horrible. He's a horrible person. He hates me. He's not a person. He's nothing. See, this is why he hates me.
Because you blaspheme him, obviously.
Blasphemy. Anyway, thank you so much, guys. Episode 4 will be coming out soon as well. We'll be recording that very soon as well. So thank you very much, guys.
See you in the next episode.
Put the Scrabble away, it won't save the human race, because Mr. Ugg here is not destined to be the human race. The human race is currently sitting round that rock over there, making documentaries about themselves.
But there must be something we can do.
No, nothing.
It's sad, though. Just at the moment, it's a very beautiful planet.
It is. It is indeed.